Welcome to Fashionably Broke.
I'm kidding, don't use that.
Just wear whatever the hell you want.
Literally just...
We're living on a McDonald's budget.
Just because you're broke doesn't mean you have to dress like it.
Hello. Put your comfy clothes on or your PJs. Get settled in. Grab a cocktail, a mocktail, and a snack because we're back with another episode of Fashionably Broke Podcast with your host, Maddy Schweppe. Hi, hello. Wow, guys. It has been a while since I've talked to you guys, and I'm so happy to be back. I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July weekend, which I know was forever ago, but I haven't talked to y'all since before that. I really, truly hoped y'all enjoyed my episode with Caroline Henry so much. I truly think that was one of my favorite episodes that I have ever put out to this date. It really was such a good episode. If you have not listened to it, go ahead, check it out. It was my latest episode drop. Like I said, it was truly my favorite episode. We talked so much about business. We talked a ton about spray tans. She offered some amazing tips, and just like overall, it was such a great conversation. It was so fun to sit down with her. I loved it so much, and I definitely will be recording with her again because seriously, it just like was one of the best episodes I feel like I've ever created, and I was so excited to put it out for you guys. So I really, truly hope you guys enjoyed it. I did take a little break for the 4th of July. I just wanted to enjoy my time. I went on a trip. I went to the beach, and it was so much freaking fun. I am wearing a hat. Shout out to Kara. She bought us all hats for the 4th of July. It says American Honey. And if you don't know, I am an American honey because I have a tattoo on my bootay that says honey. So it's a little inside joke. I feel like everything that says honey or like has to do with honey, I just like gravitate towards because I have a tattoo that literally says honey. Wow, it's been so long and I feel like we have so much to catch up on. I feel like we're going to do a lot of pop culture and a ton of reality TV. But like I said, I took a little break for the 4th of July. I was exhausted. I was traveling. My flight got canceled, which is the first time that's ever happened to me. I have had a flight get canceled, but it was like a flight to start the trip. This was my flight back from a trip, which I feel like was always like my biggest fear, especially like working in corporate America and like, you know, you go on a little trip for the weekend and then it's like you have to get back to work. Well, my flight got canceled and I am one where normally I buy like late night flights, which now I might be rethinking because like I feel like I always try to like literally squeeze as much out of my vacations as I can, or like 'cause normally I don't really take like a full vacation. Honestly, if we're being real, I really only take like a weekend. So like I feel like I just always try to like squeeze as much as possible into like my time and like my trips. So normally I leave like Sunday night at like 7 p.m. So that's kind of what my like flight was scheduled for. It was scheduled for 7:30 p.m. and it ended up getting canceled. Like I got fully rebooked onto a later flight at like 9:30 something. Well, that flight kept just getting delayed until like 11 something p.m. And I was like, oh no, I think it's going to get canceled. So like I had to reach out to my boss to be like, hey, so issue. I don't have a flight home. My flight is probably most likely going to get canceled. What the heck do I do? And shout out to just like having such a great boss because she was like, no worries, just like rebook for whatever you can. Because I do have to say, I was like looking at other airlines and babes, $2,000 to rebook a flight. And I'm sorry, mama don't got that. Mama does not have that. So I pretty much just had to like rebook for the next day. And yeah, so like traveling was just an absolute shit show. I was exhausted. You know, obviously I missed out a day of work. And so, you know, I was like, I just need to give myself a little break and recover from the holiday weekend because I drank myself so silly. And yeah, so we're back, guys. We're back. Don't worry. And I mean, I think first things first, we have to talk Love Island because I truly don't know what I'm going to do with my life now that it's over. And if you haven't watched, which like you probably have by the time this episode comes out, and if you haven't watched, it's already spoiled for you because it's literally all over social media. Bryce and Trinity won, and they really were so deserving of winning. I mean, I think everyone could have called it from like a mile away that they were going to be the winners. But like, guys, I've said it once and I'm going to say it for the 10,000th time. This was my first year watching Love Island ever. And yes, I did watch US, and 100% I can see why everyone's addicted to it. I'm obsessed. I will be watching again because I can't get enough. I am super excited for the reunion, but I am pissed that it's August 31st. I feel like that's a huge gap from this season 8 concluding to the reunion dropping, which I understand potentially why they wanted to wait that long was, I can see like why they would wait that long, just to give the Islanders time in the outside world. So like the reunion is like truly and fully like a recap. Like people have been like living their lives in the outside world for a while, and you know, relationships either last or they don't last. But like I just feel like for momentum wise and like for viewership wise, like I don't know, I just feel like it should be like released a little sooner, right? Just to keep like the people talking, because like everyone's talking about it right now. Like now that it's over, I'm like, I simply can't get enough. So like if it was released in like 3 weeks at max, I feel like that would be good. But no, August 31st, which is crazy. Crazy. And then also, what is it? Love After the Villa, or like After the Villa, or something after the Villa. That show I'm really excited to watch. I did watch season 7 After the Villa. I think that's what it's called. Even though I didn't watch Love Island, I watched a lot of the season on like TikTok. So I feel like I got to know a lot of the key people on Love Island from season 7. So I decided to watch After the Villa, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, obviously I'm a reality TV girly, so I feel like that's more my like cup of tea. And so I'm really excited to watch this year, since I obviously watched this year's Love Island. One thing I know that everyone's talking about was this is the first year that they haven't been like, hey, you do like the envelope pull for the $100,000. I think it's $100,000. And then, like, you know, someone basically pulls an envelope that's empty, and then someone pulls an envelope that has $100,000, and they have to decide whether or not they're going to take the money or they're going to split it with their partner. And this is the first year they asked. This is the first year they didn't ask if they're going to share the money or not, because I think everyone has always split the money, because, I mean, if you didn't split the money, like, that's kind of fucked up. You know, and like even if they weren't actually there for love, like who's gonna admit that they were just there for the money? No one. Everyone wants to look good, so the fact that they didn't like get that option, honestly, I kind of get it. I do kind of think it's stupid that they were asking, because like of course who the hell is like just gonna take the money and run? No one, because everyone wants to look good, you know, have a little PR moment. Like even if they don't end up together, or if they don't end up liking each other, like, you know, it still looks good that they split the money. They get 50K, you know? Sorry, I needed a little bevy break, but I do kind of want to go into like a little catch up on Love Island, even though it's done. And we know that Bryce and Trinity have won. I just want to like dive a little deeper into the nitty gritty of it all and just like break down some things. And because I feel like, again, going into the reunion, I'm very curious to see like what drama is going to come out of it. And I feel like there's some already brewing, which is crazy, because like literally all of the Islanders just got out of the island, or just got out of the villa. And we haven't even seen like the final 4 actually like get their phone back and like post stuff that they're like out, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, guys. I ran up the stairs and I am out of breath. God damn. Okay. First thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Love Island and potential drama, so on and so forth. Number one, I am a Kenzie stan, and I have been a Kenzie stan since the very beginning. There was a point in time where, I'm not going to lie, she did piss me off just a little bit. I think when it came down to Dylan and when she was kind of exploring a connection with Gaul, I was just like, to me, it's pointless. I didn't really see why she needed to explore with Gaul. I don't know. That girl loved to explore, but she did play, she played the game like how it's supposed to be played. But anywho, I want to talk about her after sun with the rest of the crew, with Casey, with what's her name, Permita, Parmesan, and Corbin. And when Teffy basically asked if there was anything that they wanted to bring up, address before the reunion, and Parmesan Permita basically came at Kenzie, which to me was absolutely crazy. I feel like she literally said, I know you've apologized for it multiple times, but I just think that's a little crazy. I can definitely see Permita and Corbin not making it all the way to the reunion. Again, I know that there's so much talk about their connection and just how strange it is, because it is strange, because because it is strange. Permita and Corbin, their connection just seems very superficial, which I know that they've said that they've had a lot of more deep conversations, yada, yada, yada. But basically just the way that they keep calling themselves so attractive and that they are perfect and they're the exact same person. I just feel like that is a little almost egotistical, almost in a sense of basically they just view themselves as the perfect person and they feel like they found themselves within the other person. So that just deems them worthy enough to date each other, is because basically they're dating themselves. And I don't know, I just feel like that's a little odd. I feel like a relationship too, you're supposed to be different from your other person. I feel like your differences is complement each other, and that's what makes you a good match. Anywho, it's not my place to judge them as a couple or to break down, I just find that I don't know, I just find the way that they move very crazy, especially since being dumped from the island. Corbin and Permita have both sat down with People, the magazine, and interviewed, and Corbin was coming out Kenzie. Permita was coming at Kenzie. I just find the way that they're moving very crazy. I feel like Kenzie has gotten over the bullshit, has gotten over the drama, and granted, she has not really posted on social media, so who knows? I know she's going on Call Her Daddy, so, she might talk a little shit here and there on the episode, but we'll see. But I do just feel like Kenzie has been very open and honest about her entire journey within the villa. And I just feel like she hasn't veered from who she is as a person. I feel like she hasn't really tried to come off a certain way. I feel like she is just really trying to be herself and present herself. And I feel like that's truly all you can ask anyone to go through this process, to do. It's just to be themselves and be themselves very loudly. And that's exactly what she's doing. And when it comes to her and Dylan, honestly, I really do hope that their relationship lasts. Do I think that they might be endgame? I don't really know. I don't want to say that they are. I don't want to say that they're not. I just hope that, honestly, I hope majority of the people from this season do last, if that makes sense. I do feel like there were a ton of really strong couples that made it to the end, and not just the final four. I feel like there was a lot of really good couples, a lot of really good personalities, and just a lot of really good pairs that were left. I'm a Kenzie stan, and I know she's just been getting so much hate and shit, basically just saying that she is, basically sincere, blah, blah, blah. But I just feel like it's very, it's a huge double standard, and I feel like it's very misogynistic in a sense that obviously majority of the fan base are women, and the fact that we are attacking another woman for doing something that a man would do and a man has done, but she's been very open and honest about the way that she's moving. I feel like, again, it's just crazy to see women attacking women, but then give leeway to Sincere, give leeway to Casey. I feel like Casey was extremely disrespectful to Anaya. And yeah, sure, did they apologize? Yes. But I still feel like, I honestly feel like a lot of people didn't give him enough shit and enough hate. Obviously, like Sincere and Melanie, they're gonna come out to a huge shitstorm. And I definitely feel like it's gonna be really, really, really hard for them post Villa just to kind of see like what everyone's saying. And so I don't know, it's like, obviously they go on the show and they are opening themselves to criticism, but like I genuinely feel like they all deserve a lot of grace, because I mean, I can't even imagine going in a villa like that and just like literally opening up your lives to all of the scrutiny and the hate and the comments and being so vulnerable on the television and like literally having zero contact with the outside world, having no idea how people are perceiving them, but just like going in open-heartedly and like fully just being themselves. And yeah, like, did Sincere make a lot of bad decisions? Yes. And did he hurt Melanie? Absolutely. But I feel like I do feel like that the comparison to Kenzie and Sincere is just absolutely insane, and they're not the same people. They did not move the same, but at the same time, I feel like they all just kind of deserve a little bit of grace, and like everyone just needs to chill the hell out. Yeah, sure. Do I have my opinions? Of course. Yes. Am I sharing them? Yes. But I'm trying to do it in a manner where we don't know them personally. Yes, it feels like we know them because we've been watching them every single day for the past 6 weeks, but we truly don't know them. And obviously the show's edited. There is a cut. We don't see everything. So we do have to also take that into consideration. What else about the show? Oh my God, I freaking love Anaya and Carl, and I truly hope that they last for a long time. I feel like they are a very cute coupling, and I'm so sorry. Their final date was absolutely insane. I mean, talk about goddamn dream dates. I feel like you could really tell exactly like the ranking when it came to the final four based on their dates. Because I'm so sorry, what the actual fuck was Zach and Kata's date? I would be pissed. I would be pissed. Sincere and Melanie's date was so sweet and it was so cute. And I just feel like very relaxing and very, sweet and just like sentimental. And then Kata and Zach get a speedboat to go eat sandwiches. I'm so confused about that. And then I think that honestly, I truly think that Carl and Anaya's date was like the sweetest date of them all. Obviously, Bryce and Trinity also got like a really sweet dinner with the hearts on fire and like the fire dancers. But I do have to say, I truly think that Anaya and Carl's date was probably like the sweetest of them all. But it was really cute because I know like throughout the season, Anaya just kept talking about like, wanting to find her Prince Charming and just like wanting this like fairy tale ending. And I thought it was really sweet that producers set that up for her and basically gave her fairy tale ending with like a whole storybook. It was the sweetest thing. And the fact that they got second runner up was so cute. I feel like you could definitely tell that the producers were like really pulling for them, which is so sweet because I feel like it was kind of awesome after everything that Anaya went through, especially with Casey, that she got that second chance. And I know it was due to America's vote, but I definitely think that the producers were like, okay, everyone really loves Anaya, and I think that she deserves a second shot, even though she was the one that sent Carl home. So I thought that was really sweet that they kind of did that. And you could definitely tell that they had like maybe a little bit of a soft spot for her and just like their relationship and like them as a couple. So I just thought that was super sweet. Also, the fact someone told me that Bryce is Food God's nephew, which, okay, if you don't know who Food God is, stop right now and go look him up. But I have a really freaking funny story for you guys. Okay, so throwback to my college days. Okay, it is a football season. Honestly, could not tell you what year of college this was or who LSU played during the game. But picture this. It's late at night. I've been tailgating all day long and I'm at Fred's, okay? I'm beep-bopping around. I'm saying hi to everybody. I'm listening to music. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this man. He looks very familiar, but I've never met him in person. But I have seen him on my television screen, okay? And I turn to my friend and I'm like, no fucking way. Is that Food God? And everyone's like, who? What? Maddie, what are you talking about? In the middle of Fred's, I meet Miss Kimberly Kardashian's best fucking friend, Mr. Food God. And I literally just stop in my tracks. I walk straight up to him and I said, hi, I'm a huge fan. Love you so much. Bye. And like didn't ask for a picture, didn't do any. I was with someone and I can't remember who I was with, but I like made them walk with me so I could go say hi to Food God. And I'm sorry, I will never forget that moment. The fact that I like didn't even ask for a picture. Insane. I'm obsessed. But I have met Food God. Oh my God, another thing that I want to talk about is Jen. So I loved Jen. I thought Jen was so amazing, and it really sucks that I feel like she didn't get the time in the villa that she deserved. But what I am absolutely obsessed with and loving is everything that she's doing since she's been dumped from the island and was dumped from the villa. How she's moving on social media is perfect. And that is exactly what I want to see from the other Islanders. I feel like she's really leaning into her bit with Gaul and like how Gaul called her aggressive. And then the fact that they had a full on photo shoot and they've been hanging out and, you know, texting each other, but like not like more in just like a playful, like friendly way. But the fact is, like, they're really playing into, like, their time in the villa, and I feel like just, like, really setting up, like, a good image and a good brand for them moving forward in, like, what we can expect from them as fans post their time on Love Island. And I think that a lot of Islanders could really take some notes on I feel like this is how they need to move post Villa if they really want to build their personal brand. And I'm so sorry, guys. All episode, I am going to be jumping around a lot. It's just the way. And I just want to forewarn and apologize. This episode, I probably will be jumping around a lot. You know, we've talked about it before. My thoughts just aren't organized. But I do kind of want to pivot from Love Island. Honestly, it is really like the only thing that's been on my mind lately. And I'm really sad to like see it go. And I'm really gonna have to figure out what the hell I'm gonna watch in the mornings while I get ready and while I drive to work. I know that sounds horrible, but I have a long commute. What else am I supposed to do? Because now like Love Island's over, like what am I supposed to do? So I'm gonna have to find something to like fill that void and fill my time. But I kind of want to pivot into Alix Earle. I feel like we've been seeing Alix Earle a lot. I feel like she's been really stepping up her Instagram game, which I know is kind of crazy, but like she obviously it's summertime and she is on her hot girl summer shit, guys. Hot girl summer shit. She's posting every single day. Obviously, she's traveling around the world and she's befriended Stassi Baby, which honestly is a duo I absolutely love. She's spending time in the Hamptons. She's staying at the old Summer House house. The old Summer House house. Yeah, old Summer House house. I don't really know how else to say that. But she's staying in the Hamptons and, you know, she's just like living her life. A couple things. Okay, I feel like she's been receiving a ton of hate on social media, just a lot of people calling her unrelatable, saying that she's changed, really focusing in on like her body and, commenting a ton on her body, on her attitude, and just like how a lot of people are saying that like she just quote unquote like isn't the same Alix Earle as she used to be. And I've been thinking a lot about this. Number one, you could never, ever, ever, ever get me to hate on Alix Earle. And I think that when it comes to bodies, I know I am guilty of it. But I just don't necessarily think that like women's bodies need to be the topic of conversation. And it's something that I will not be discussing today. But one thing that I have like really been thinking about when it comes to Alix Earle and just like a shift in her content, and just like a lot of people are saying that she's not the same Alix Earle that everyone fell in love with. And while I disagree, I feel like she is the same. Obviously, she's grown. She's been America's sweetheart for a number of years now, and I'm sorry if she doesn't show growth, then like that wouldn't be good. People change, people grow up. She's getting older. She's figuring out who she is as a woman post college. Like, we got to know her literally her junior year of college. But one thing I did want to bring up, because I feel like this is where a lot of people might be seeing that disconnection. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people have been just like throwing around how they can't really relate to her anymore, or she's not just like a relatable content creator. I think it's because a lot of her content, she was extremely open and honest on everything she was doing, who she was talking to, the drama, and like was literally telling us everything. I feel like Alix Earle now is holding back a ton of things. I think that she isn't necessarily really opening up about her life. I feel like she is being very selective on what she is showing us in her life, and like controlling it a lot more to show us, certain highlights and not everything. I feel like she used to show us everything. And I do feel like this could be because she does obviously have a new reality TV show coming out on Netflix super soon. I'm assuming it's probably coming the end of summer. I know people are saying summer 2026, but I'm kind of thinking maybe like we could look forward to it in August or even like September. I think that is probably one reason that we're not that she isn't like necessarily showing us everything like she used to. But I also feel like she obviously like went through a huge breakup that was, you can tell it did a lot to her. I think it was a really hard public breakup that she hadn't really gone through before. Obviously, Dancing with the Stars. And then, she talks a lot about, she's just been like struggling with anxiety a ton, and just like hasn't been really wanting to like open up and share a lot of things. And she's just like becoming a little bit more insecure when it comes to social media. And so I feel like that she's kind of like built up this like wall when it comes to her relationship with her followers, which I honestly feel like there really isn't. I mean, I feel like that really isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think that she has obviously well surpassed just being an influencer. She is fully a celebrity now. And I think honestly, at some point when it comes to, the lives of celebrities, I mean, obviously she now is doing a reality TV show, and she's probably put a ton out on the line when it comes to that. So it's like, okay, when you're doing social media, when you're doing a reality TV show, like there are certain things in your life then, because you're laying everything out on the line, and like you're laying everything out for public viewage and public entertainment, that I feel like when it comes to social media and just like their personal life, like there are some things, if they can control it being private, like they're going to control it being private. So I think that like honestly, this is a shift that we're going to see in her social media and like in her content. I feel like Obviously, she's probably going to be a lot more open on her reality TV show, but I feel like what we can see from her moving forward is going to be kind of like what we've been seeing as of late. And I feel like people just kind of have to get on board with that, or yeah. And I'm kind of really sick and tired of this Alix Earle slander. Okay, so knock it off. Thanks. But speaking of reality TV, guys, I really am just going through a reality TV phase. It is a reality TV summer, babe. All right. And I want to talk about Summer House. Okay. Summer House season 11 has officially begun filming. Sierra Miller did announce it first on Love Island that she is back for another season of Summer House, which, holy shit, I'm so glad and I'm so thankful for. I do have a feeling this year is probably going to be a lot different. Honestly, than, many other years, or maybe like what we just like know as Summer House in general. I kind of hope that they do change it up a little bit, but Bravo did officially announce the returning Summer House celebs, which we have Sierra Miller, Lindsay Hubbard, which I am shocked. But she is an OG, so of course, I feel like she could never actually like let it go. We have Kyle Cook, of course, he's also an OG. We have Carl Radke. We have Mia, which thank God, I freaking love Mia. I'm so happy she's back for another season. We have KJ, which again, I was really loving the Sierra, Mia, and KJ trio. KJ obviously has broken up with Dara, so she will not be on, or she would not be returning to season 11 of Summer House. We have Bailey, which I know Bailey was such a crowd favorite. So I'm really, really, really glad that she is back for another season. And I really hope that we get to know her a little bit better. And I hope that there is somewhat of like a larger storyline with her. But those are all. Oh, and I'm so sorry, Jesse Solomon, which I know Jesse gets a lot of hate, but I kind of love Jesse. So I know like towards the end of last season, he really kind of fell quiet and fell out of the storyline. So I'm really hoping with his music career, he is back to being a prominent character. And I am a little curious to see who the new guests are this year for Summer House. They best be good or I'm gonna be pissed, okay? And I don't know. I know like dynamics. I feel like at the beginning of Summer House, there's always, some weird drifts when it comes to like the newbies of the season. But they just better be good. And I feel like vibes better be high, especially after what a shit storm this past season was, because goddamn, it was a shitstorm. So I'm really excited, and I'm so glad that Summer House is back and it wasn't canceled. I feel like that's some news, that's some good news we all could use, guys. But kind of pivoting from Summer House to In the City. I have been thoroughly enjoying In the City. I have very high hopes for seasons to come. I do have to say the past few episodes, they were intense and they were crazy. I am, honestly, I hate to say, I am very sick of the Kyle and Amanda storyline. I know it's going to be a storyline for a while. And obviously, in my Summer House lineup, you did see and hear that a certain someone, Amanda, was not mentioned. Thank God. Get her off of my screen. I know that they just filmed the In the City reunion. One, I have a lot of thoughts. Okay. I know we're still, I think, a bit away from like the reunion actually airing. We're like heavily in the midst of the In the City season 1. And there's like, I feel like a lot of storylines that are still unfolding. I still hate Kenny, but I don't know. I kind of think I like Kenny. I don't know. Maybe it's a Whitney thing. I'm not sure. I fucking hate Danielle. I hated her in Summer House and I hate her in the City. And she literally is Such a drama queen. She is the problem. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. Sorry for the slander, but yeah, it's true. And I just feel like I don't know what it is with her. I just like genuinely do not like her. And I can't even say like it's because reality TV portrays her that way. Like the producers portray her like that. No, like I'm sorry. She gets the same narrative in every single fucking show. She just has to be like that shitty of a person and like that miserable as a person. I am curious to see if Amanda will rejoin in the city or if, once her and Kyle's divorce is finalized, if she is officially done with reality TV. Honestly, get her off of my screen, but that's another thing. Another thing I want to talk about In the City and the reunion is I really was not impressed with any single one of the In the City reunion looks. I feel like the summer house always brought the goddamn looks. They looked amazing, and it was yawn. It was fully yawn with the In the City. I mean, like, this is their first season. Come on, guys. Come on. You could do a lot better than that. So I was very unimpressed and disappointed, to say the least. Especially with Lindsay, my girl. This is not your first reunion. I mean, what? Like, no, I don't know. I get Summer House and In the City are two very different shows, two very different vibes, but like, come on, guys. I was expecting a lot more, and so I am just like very disappointed. So I think that's really all I have to say about In the City. I am, like I said, really excited to watch the reunion. They did say that a lot of people will be a little bit more satisfied with how Amanda came to the reunion. She wasn't on her little drug concoction that she was for Summer House, and she just like wasn't checked out. So I'm very curious to see like what she brings to the table when it comes to the reunion time. And then potentially lastly on the Bravo and reality TV front, McBee Dynasty. Okay, so basically I watched season 1 through its entirety. I think I would say like last year. By that time, season 2 would have come out. And I did not watch it. This year, I did start watching McBee Dynasty only for my girl, Allie. Allie, I don't know how to say her last name, but Steven's ex-girlfriend, most recent ex-girlfriend, because I am just a fan of her in general, and I have been for years and years and years. After watching the first 2 episodes, it did prompt me to actually go back and and watch season 2. Just because I wanted to see how Steven and Kala's relationship played out before this most current season and then his new relationship with Allie. So I did go back and I watched all of season 2 and led into season 3. And obviously, I'm watching only because I'm an Allie fan. I did hear, and I don't know if this is true, that McBee Dynasty will not be coming back for another season. Which, yeah, get them off my screen. I truly don't care about them. I think that Allie deserves her own type of reality show. I feel like a show with like her and her family would be iconic. They could call it Triple E or something. That is a show that I would fully watch. But yeah, so I'm watching the full season of McBee Dynasty play out. Obviously, it has a lot to do with their dad going to prison, them owing money, and having to kind of pay off like all of their debts and yada yada yada. And I just like it truly does amaze me on like I just genuinely want to understand how they got a reality show in general. I don't know. It's just like their whole family dynamic. Obviously, it's fucking nuts. Like they all need to go seek help. Is very strange, very, very strange. But the one thing that I just like don't really like is the crazy slander when it comes to Kala. Obviously, we don't fully understand like Steven and Kala's relationship, and like obviously it was bad, obviously. And I don't know, I just think it's crazy the way that they are speaking about her. And then also how Kala is coming online saying that Allie, the one that's engaged and or married to Cole, and like basically just airing some crazy ass shit online. Don't know if it's true, don't know if it's like, or what. But I mean, that entire family within itself, they are just an actual shit show. And like I just like don't understand how they ended up with a reality TV show. And I mean, obviously, I talked about it episodes and episodes and episodes ago, just how Allie and Steven's relationship ended and played out, and how, they're posting shit about each other online, and the texts that Allie released of Steven and like everything he said to her, obviously, like he has a lot of major issues and does not know how to treat and or speak to women. Has anger issues, like the whole 9 yards. It just truly does blow my mind that like they have not gotten canceled yet, because just recently it was released, basically someone on the McBee's team released that Allie was trying to get paid a lot more money for her being on the show, which she has played it perfectly when it comes to anything that they've released and or said about her since the breakup. I truly like have to give her kudos, have to like lift that girl up, because she is playing everything so classy and so honest. And like that's the thing, is she's being upfront and honest. And I feel like that is like truly what makes someone so successful on social media and just like as like a TV personality. Is she's like, hell yeah, I asked for more money. Like I have a manager. My manager did her job. Like my management did exactly what they're supposed to do. They are supposed to fight for me and what they think I'm valued at. She's like, that's why you have a management company, is because they literally will fight for what you're worth. And I just think that it was like such a great way to kind of come back to, the McBees trying to paint her as like this money hungry, was doing it all for the wrong reasons. No, like she was like, yeah, I'll do the show, but like if we're going to be in business together, you're going to speak to my management. We're not going to make it personal. And like whatever my management comes to you guys and says, like it's not personal. You can't take it out on me. Like you can't take it with a grain of salt. This is business. If you're going to ask me to be in your business, we're going to treat it like business and not like, oh, an IOU because we're dating. And like truly that is like, I don't know, it just was like the perfect play. And I don't know, I just like have so much respect for her that it's insane. But I think that that's all I have for today's episode. Who knows? I might come back tomorrow and drop a little bit more tea, but yeah, the tea I feel like was piping hot today, you guys. So I do truly hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. I promise I'm going to be a lot more consistent with the podcast moving forward. Things in life have just gotten crazy. It's been a very busy summer so far. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you want to see more from the podcast, make sure to follow on all social media platforms at Fashionably Broke Pod. And if you want to see more from me, make sure to check out my profiles at Maddy Schweppe, MADDYSCHWEPPE on all social media. Talk to you guys later. Bye.